9 members from 7 Presbyterian churches in Central Florida went on the December Cuba mission trip. The area visited was 2 agricultural provinces in central Cuba. The group flew from Tampa to Santa Clara and then drove to Sancti Spiritus. A walking tour in Sancti Spiritus revealed it was an old Spanish colonial city with a large central plaza surrounded by beautiful buildings. The streets within the city, some very narrow, were designed when horses and carts were the only transportation. Everyone was impressed by the cleanliness of Cuba's streets. Later it was discovered that all the litter, every scrap of paper, is picked up and reused. In this area of central Cuba, the water generally is of poor quality. It can be used to wash clothes, but isn't safe to drink. The mission team had an opportunity to observe the living water of the world filtration systems in use at the Sancti Spiritus Presbyterian Church. People line up early in the morning to fill their jugs with clean water. The church is responsible for tracking and logging the water usage, as well as maintaining the filters. The filtered water is a gift that benefits everyone in the community. The next day, the team separated into groups of 2 or 3 persons each to visit 13 churches in the provinces of Villa Clara and Sancti Spiritus. The bus drive through the countryside revealed its rural agricultural nature. One team was dropped off at the Presbyterian Church in Taguasco. Taguasco's streets are filled with horses and carriages or wagons, motor scooters, bicycles, a few cars and trucks, as well as pedestrians. Some are taking their wares or food to be sold, others are carrying their purchases home. The streets have an endless parade of activity. The Taguasco Presbyterian Church was a refuge in the past and remains so today, for no one is turned away, whether impoverished, sick, or having a different lifestyle. Since many of the central Cuban churches lack transportation resources, their pastors and laypersons struggle to reach the residents of their communities. Travel to those in need is often on foot or in wagons pulled by a scooter. At the Taguasco Church, they are determined to feed the hungry poor, but their financial resources are very limited.
We have a food project and we assist about 20 persons, 20 families with this project. It is a big deal in our country to have food because it's very expensive, and we have many people that have no money to buy food because some of them are very old persons, they are disabled persons, and so they cannot have money enough for living because they receive a check from the government, but it is never enough. So as it is one of the most important things that we need, food, we try to provide them some lunch every week because we don't have resources to give food more frequently. So we just give lunch once a week to 20 families who are hungry and need to be assisted and helped because they can't afford food for the whole month.
The average salary in rural Cuba is $25 a month, so the government provides basic rations. Many of the Cuban people get up early to walk to a ration center before they start their day. Their children, up to the age of 6 years old, are allowed 1 liter of milk a day. When they turn 7, they are considered adults and no longer receive that ration. Sometimes rations run out. Cubans might walk another mile in a different direction for rice or water rations. Much of the poor Cuban's life is spent procuring their basic necessities on a day-to-day basis. Many try to make money in other ways. This Cuban cuts and shapes wood handles to repair shovels. Another man drives tobacco and rolls cigars. Someone uses the entryway to their home to sell shoes. This woman serves drinks from sugar cane she has just pressed, and another grows grapes on the roof to make wine to sell and also donate to the church for use in communion. The very old cars that all Americans associate with Cuba are often used as taxis. You see proud owners of those cars, most of which are cobbled together and kept running on a wing and a prayer. The next village church one group visited was Placitas Presbyterian Church, which has a dedicated young pastor.
Yo no sé por qué nos empecinamos siempre en resaltar que Jesús viene del gran rey David. Y no somos capaces de decir que Jesús viene del pequeño pastor, del hombre de trabajo.
And at this church, the Christmas spirit was very much evident. Every Sunday morning is a farmer's market. The main street in Placitas, for many blocks, was filled with farmer vendors, and the townspeople came from far and wide to do their weekly marketing. The afternoon found men relaxing, some enjoying domino and card games, and others socializing. Lastly, the group visited Sagua La Grande, where they were taken to several of the congregates' homes for in-home church services. Afterwards, the team wandered around the village, taking note of the buildings in various states of disrepair. It's very difficult to find building materials, and when obtained, they are also very expensive. The recent normalization of diplomatic relations between Cuba and the United States has Cubans hoping for an improvement in their economic condition. There undoubtedly will be benefits, but the poverty in central Cuba may take decades to improve. U.S. Presbyterian Church outreach to their neighbor churches in these rural provinces must continue. These churches are dedicated to helping their communities and will continue to provide important services to people thankful for their and our assistance.